Hey everybody, just going to give you a heads up. The Chapter 7 projects have been graded. Also, grades are posted for the Chapter 7 forum. Just a reminder, those are required for the course. A lot of people that didn't get in there and do that, you do have to post an initial post and 2 replies. So if you click back on your project, you'll be able to see feedback. For the most part, everybody did really well. I do want to apologize about the caption for the pictures not lining up with the book since track changes was enabled. I didn't realize that when I did that. So if you see any other quirks like that because the documents have track changes enabled and locked, just let me know. I want to make sure when I grade those that I take that into consideration at least. So anyway, also a reminder, if you didn't download the file straight from the student files, if the book asks you to do that, you need to download it from there, not from a book resource CD, since track changes are enabled on those documents. So also, give you a little bit of heads up about Chapter 1. There is a discussion forum. You can see people are already in there doing that, so make sure and post your initial post and 2 replies to get full credit. Those are pretty easy points. You do have to put effort in. It can't just be 1 or 2 sentences. Make sure it's good content, but make sure you're doing those discussion forums, okay? Then Chapter 1 is Living in a Digital World. Remember, that's part 1 of the book, so these are the concept chapters. I've talked about this before, but concept chapters are going to have a quiz per chapter, so make sure and do that chapter as well. That chapter quiz as well. So project 4 is the one we're going to be working on. The book may or may not say on the concept chapters things like use Word or use PowerPoint or just create a document, but make sure and click on the assignment and read the instructions up here. For this, it says very specifically you need to make sure and use Microsoft Word, because we just learned about Word. We're going to reinforce the things we've learned in Word. You should use some of those formatting techniques as noted in the assignment. So always, always, always don't just turn to the book and read the assignment, because it could say to create a presentation, whereas we really want you to do a Word document. So make sure and read these assignments right here. Also, don't forget to enable track changes on any of the documents you create from blank documents for Word or Excel when we get to that point. So basically for Project 4, you're going to compare 2 cloud service providers. The project has you to create an article that lists the disadvantages and advantages of cloud computing, and then compare at least 2 cloud service providers. The way I would go about this assignment is do a couple paragraphs about advantages and disadvantages, and those things are in the chapter in the book of cloud computing. And then we're going to compare 2 different providers. The way I like to approach it is 2 cloud storage providers, because we're usually kind of familiar with things like Dropbox or iCloud or Google Drive. So you can look those up. Since you are using Word and you're using some of those things you've learned the past 2 chapters, my opinion, the easiest way to do a comparison would be to insert a table with columns listing the product name and then characteristics about it, like storage space, what's free, how much it costs, etc. Things like that to compare the 2. So when you get done, you have a few paragraphs of text talking about advantages and disadvantages, maybe a table showing what those service provider options are, etc., and things about them, and then also make sure and do different formatting, so things like pictures, logos of those, make sure and do styles for headings and things like that, page borders, any of that stuff that you think the document looks good, include it. Make sure and show me that you know what you're doing with Word, like we learned in the past 2 chapters. If you have any specific questions, I did give you feedback on the Chapter 7 projects. If you have any specific, when you read that, you're not quite sure how to fix it, let me know, and I will help you with that. Also, make sure you're in the question forums checking. There's been a lot of good conversation in there, like the fact that you couldn't insert captions the way you're supposed to be able to, and again, I apologize for that. So make sure you're checking that question and answer forum, because there's good help going on in there. You need to be participating if you have questions. Like always, if you have questions, let me know. Also, assignments aren't due Monday because the college is closed and it's Labor Day, so they're actually due Tuesday at 5, so you get an extra day in there as well. So let me know if you have any questions when you're working on that.